Love, family, and friendship are the catalysts which propel almost 75% of a story's plot forward to their conclusions.
If I nail this guy, Eleazar will let my wife go. Unharmed.
Yes.
This statement isn't downplaying the power of those driving forces or saying they're cop-outs as a writer. It's actually doing the opposite. I'm acknowledging that those three things will make a human being do anything for love, family, or friendship. We watch a sobered-up brute of an honest man go from being a drug mule to serving time, breaking bones, brutalizing prison guards, removing faces, busting jaws, possibly all in that order, all to save his pregnant wife.
There is an abortionist from Korea. He works for my employer. He claims that he can clip the limbs of a fetus, yet leave the child in such a condition that it will live to be born.
So you can see how that would drive our character to do these violent acts, all to protect his family, to preserve his family, which is something that is very clear from the first 10-15 minutes is extremely important to him. This is more than just a violent action flick, though, despite my previous description and the catchy exploitation title. Let me summarize it for you. It's a meditative film on justice. And not just lawful justice, but justice for all those conned into the American dream, and how they must lose sleep and blood to survive the nightmare that they've found themselves in. Like I mentioned before, all of this sounds thrilling, but it happens at a deliberately slow pace, which isn't bad. All of Zahler's films have this type of dramatic velocity, which always puts them near the 3-hour mark. What keeps us invested in Brawl and Cell Block 99 as an audience member is the personal connection we develop with Bradley throughout the length of the film. We spend so much time with him, he's in almost literally every frame, and everything revolves around this giant, composed man. It never gets boring, though. Vince Vaughn has us hooked consistently, almost attached to his hip throughout the entire journey. He honestly delivers the best performance of his entire career, and it's a shame he wasn't recognized for it properly. Zahler has the same ability as Tarantino, Aronofsky, or Vince Gilligan to draw raw emotion from actors who haven't tapped those areas of their soul yet. They take these outside-of-the-box thespians and send them off on the anti-hero's journey. While doing so, their range as an actor and the public eye's respect for them is rejuvenated. But what is the anti-hero's journey? Over the course of written fiction's history, countless heroes have gone on the hero's journey. They start from nothing, or from something followed by immediate nothing, and need to build themselves back up. Then, as they follow various paths and gain wisdom of those they grow close to, they reach salvation, even through all the turmoil. Most are able to live on after, reaping all the good karma they've sown, while some don't. With Bradley, we see it all crystal clear. No loose ends. He starts his journey by getting fired from his job and cheated on by his wife on the same day. He reacts calmly to being fired, but the news of the affair makes him a little violent, but only towards her car. He delivers a clever monologue where he makes it clear how often luck is absent from his life when he tries to live an honest American dream lifestyle. He has no other choice than to turn to a life of crime to try and support the family they wish for. Exposure to abnormal risk for bountiful reward. That's the first step for anti-heroes to take in order to make nothing into something. They do something they shouldn't really be doing, all for the sake of getting rewarded with not just money, but affection, power, revenge, or in this case, stability.
You help me set up this partnership, I'll give you 2 months off when your little baby's born.
Three.
Things soon change for the better for Bradley, or at least he believes so. You know, he drives a nice car now, has a nice house, his wife is pregnant, you know, all able to be facilitated because he transports packages for a friend.
What's the weather like?
Chance of snow.
Good so far. That's the second step in the anti-hero's journey. They've gotten a taste of what they want, and we see them savor it, but then new obstacles get thrown in the way by the still current risk they're taking living like this. That is until the next step of the anti-hero's journey. Shit hits the fan. The second to last step in the anti-hero's journey is cleanup duty. They do everything in their power to preserve everything they love, even as their world is falling apart around them and they might be swallowed by the debris.
Call off your guy.
Return to your cell.
We'll do this the other way.
I'll make no such phone call. I will tell them to release your wife.
Talk correct. Or get raped.
Now, the final step after victory for the anti-hero is death or rebirth. It'll always seem worth it to the anti-hero right up until the very end to sacrifice themselves because they feel like they aren't worth as much as who they're trying to save. So, in the end, they usually meet a fatal end.
You ready, Mr. Thomas?
The last two things I want to mention briefly before I end are the soundtrack and the practical effects. Zoller has a tendency, or at least so far with his films shot in modern day, to utilize old-sounding R&B soul music in order to convey his narrative.
God bless my mama. Hey girl, won't you come inside my automobile?
I didn't know this at first, and then I watched the behind-the-scenes commentary. I learned that he actually, Zoller, wrote the lyrics for all the songs heard in the film and made the music with the musicians. And there's no synthesizers, it's all the original, like, old-timey instruments, and it sounds amazing, and it caught me off guard. I thought it was old music, you know? The lyrics are always on point, describing exactly what the characters are going through in that moment.
Stuff won't last forever.
The practical effects. However cheesy and cheap they may seem at first glance, it helps deliver an impact that even the most expensive CGI couldn't sell better. It's also a testament to Zoller's obvious love for exploitation films. Those are littered with affordable solutions to seemingly expensive problems. Explosions, torn limbs, decapitated heads, etc. Even today, those old school techniques come in clutch for the next generation to carry the torch. In conclusion, Brawl in Cell Block 99 doesn't pull any punches. It submits the audience, forces them to appreciate what good they have in their lives, and to make sure they fight for it. I'm super excited for Zoller's next film, and hope it's just as exhilarating as his others.